Hello proxies! For this special Q&A video, I decided to share my voice with you all and answer the questions you've asked me vocally. No more plain text for this video. I haven't talked in my videos before, and it's because of two things. First reason being that I am insecure about my voice, and second, I think it'll be too much work if I talk in my videos every day. So yeah, this will probably be the last time you hear my voice, so enjoy it while it lasts. Anyways, I've gathered all the questions I could, and I'm going to be answering them in this video. Without further ado, let's get into the Q&A. Alright, question number 1 comes from a Ukrainian individual that goes by...
Mujlan уже без прав.
I'll call them Mujlan for short. I hope I got that right. They asked, which existing character do you like the most and least? As for my least favorite character in ZenlessZoneZero, I think it'll be Sukaku, if we aren't counting NPCs, that is. I don't like her design, and her voice is squeaky, which I don't want ringing in my ears every time I use her with Miyabi. And honestly, I hate the fact that most of her kit is so time stalling. A good example would be her skill. Not even Ben or Pan Yinho, which are very large characters, take that long to skill. As for my favorite character, honestly, there are a good amount to be honest. Honorable mentions would be Ben, Evelyn, Miyabi, Isolde, and Lycon. But I'll have to pick Big Daddy. He leads my favorite faction, and that's the Sons of Caledon. And I'd love to learn more about him. Okay, so their second question is, when do you think Big Daddy will be released? To be honest, I have little expectations Big Daddy would be released this season, as much as I would love for him to be released this season. Sure, we are seeing him in the upcoming event, which is called When Dreams Remain Unfinished in 2.3, but I wouldn't think that means he'll be automatically playable in this season. Let's take a look at what I think is coming in the next patches. Also, forgive me if I pronounce the upcoming characters' names wrong. They are Chinese, so they're kind of hard for me to spell. Okay, so we have Lucia and Idari in 2.3, which is officially confirmed. Then there is hypothetically Zhao and Dialin in 2.4, and then a supposed Void Hunter, which could be Yisheng Wang alongside Banyue or Banyu in 2.5. Highly likely, it'll be the Idols of Delusion in 2.6. And I don't know if they will take 2 or 1 patches, but if they do take 2 patches, it's literally Jover. If not, then there would be 2.7 left. That honestly would be the best time for the rumored and speculated S-rank Billy to shine with perhaps S-rank Big Daddy, but that's all hypothetical and imaginary, unfortunately. I am not sure what they would do for 2.7, but if I were to guess, they could give us introductory characters for the 3rd season. But who knows? That's just my guess on the matter. Their third question is, what motivates you to save up for so long? That's a very good question. I've always seen whales play with maxed duped characters and their maxed weapons or gadgets, whatever you want to call them. And as a free-to-play, I've always wondered, how does it feel? So I wanted to have this experience in ZZZ. Initially, I wanted to do this with Miyabi so I'm comfortable for the rest of the game. Fate made me end up with C1 Miyabi and her W engine. But then something clicked, and I had remembered that I really liked Big Daddy. So the 2nd season had started, and I heard questionable rumors that he would be playable. Quote unquote, it's still questionable. It is very questionable. Don't trust me on this. So when I heard this, either if it was true or not, I still have decided that I'll get Yixuan since I didn't have an E30 PS at the time. But since she was Void Hunter level, I thought that would be the perfect opportunity to pull her and stop. Then I'd save for good until the day Big Daddy becomes playable. I made up my mind and wanted to have the C6 experience with the character I love and enjoy, and that is Big Daddy. Alright, we got question number 2, which comes from dad_Bowser. Interesting name. They ask, would Big Daddy be an attacker, rupture, or a defense character? I would like to think he will be an attacker. So we got question number 3 from Gast. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I hope that was right. They ask, do I think Big Daddy could be a defense character? We have very few of those. Hell nah! I hate that role because it is very useless and such a skill issue role. We hardly have any healers in the game. Why would we want defense ones? Honestly, the game should have left it at support. There was no need for defense. I wouldn't want my favorite character to end up being in a useless class with a boring kit, justice to Ben, Caesar, and the rest of the defense characters. Question number 4 is from Yushin on Twitter. I hope I got your name right. They ask, what would be your dream kit for Big Daddy? I can't disclose much, to be honest with you. However, I'll be going into detail on the matter in my upcoming project, Project Big Daddy. The project explains his fan-made kit that me and my friend worked on in detail. For now, all I have made public was the fan-made drip marketing short, and it showed the class and element I'd like for him to be, which is attack and fire. I also released a teaser of his kit, link in the description down below if you want to give it a watch. Stay sharp for more news about the project. Question number 5 comes from Jampin Jax. Okay, I hope I got that name right. They asked, would you do Big Daddy? I don't know how to answer this. I do him a cake for his birthday. Yeah, if that's what you were asking. All right, moving on. Question number 6 comes from Shiki May. I hope I got that name right. They ask, what made me a Big Daddy fan? Okay, so I think a lot of people would be asking me this question. Honestly, it's mostly his design. Also, he is old and mature, which I really like, and the faction is just a huge bonus. I really enjoyed the Sons of Caledon faction and story. It was so well written. It's where ZZZ was at its peak, in my opinion. And so it would be a dream come true to see Big Daddy playable. They also ask, who's my favorite waifu or husbando? For waifu, I'd say either Evelyn or Isolde. I really can't decide. I love them both. And for husbando, I mean, come on. I think the answer is obvious. They also asked Miyabi or Yishuan. I'd just say Miyabi all the way. We have question number 7, and it's from Deshi Marsh. I hope I said your name right. I feel like I'm butchering a lot of names today. They ask, what was the thing that made you go, this is the character I'm going to save up for? Okay, so other than the reasons I had mentioned before this question, I'm really into characters that aren't human. Thyrans in the term of ZZZ. And I also think that ethereals are pretty cool creatures, even though they're villainous. So seeing Big Daddy's design, it really wowed me, and I just immediately thought that he has to be playable. He looked amazing, he is amazing, his faction is amazing, and overall, he's just amazing. I never thought that there would be a cool looking game like ZZZ where it makes you play with characters that aren't human, and so I deeply wanted to save for Big Daddy. Coming in, question number 8 comes from Igoric on Twitter. Again, I hope I said the name right. They ask, is there anything specific about Big Daddy that you like the most? I really like everything about him. I don't know much of his personality, which I'd like to learn more about. I know he is a very kind person, that's for sure. But yeah, I'd say he is in every way cool, calm, and collected. And I love that about him. Question number 9 comes from Wolfdark on Twitter. And they ask, do I think Big Daddy has old friends from old Eridu? Interesting question. Honestly, I am not sure. If I remember this correctly though, I think a huge incident happened there and a lot of people died. So the chances of him having friends there are kinda low. I don't know if Big Daddy strikes me as a type of person who would have a lot of friends. To be honest, I'm not sure. Hopefully we will learn about him soon enough though. Okay, question. Well, this isn't really a question. Dummy Dog Ben says, I don't really have a question. I just want to say I hope you're having a good day and that you can ignore the people doubting or making fun of you. That's really sweet, Ben. Thank you so much for your kindness. People will always hate and make fun of me for whatever reason flows in their mind. But it doesn't get to me. Not when I have so many of you believing in me, like you, Ben. Seeing comments like this where people believe in me never fails to warm my heart. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day too, Ben. Okay, moving on from this emotional moment. Question number 10 is from Glitch Faces. They ask, other than Big Daddy, who's my favorite member of the Sons of Caledon? That's a very good question. It's between Lighter and Caesar. But I'm more leaning to Caesar, to be honest. She has a pretty nice personality. She also looks great. She also reminds me of a nice Fate character named Jeanne d'Arc Alter. Question 11 is from Daily Banyu or Banyue on Twitter. They asked a few questions actually. First one is, who is your favorite playable character currently? Okay, so I have two answers to this question since I didn't know if you meant gameplay wise or character wise. Gameplay wise, I'd say it's Hoshimi Miyabi. Character wise, I'd answer you Ben Bigger. Their second question is, do you have Caesar and Lighter? I hope they both work with Big Daddy when he comes out. I hope so too, honestly. Unfortunately though, I don't have them at all. No, unfortunately. But my plan is to snatch the rest of the Sons of Caledon members once I secure Big Daddy first. Their third and final question is, do you play other gachas? I played a lot of gachas during my lifetime, to be honest. But at the current moment, I play ZZZ, of course. I recently quit Honkai Star Rail for multiple reasons. I play Wuthering Waves. Sometimes I log into Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. Sometimes I'll check my 9-year-old Fate Grand Order account. And I play other gacha games that I'd just rather not disclose. However, I am excited to try out a bunch of new gacha games that are coming out at some point, like Silver Palace, Arknight's Enfield, Duet Night Abyss, and Ananta. I know the last two aren't gacha, but regardless, I'm still willing to try those games out. Question number 12 comes from I'm Not Freddy. Okay, what an interesting name. They ask, even though you're saving right now, are you going to pull for Banyue or lose? Dude, what is this question? Seriously, what went into your mind when you asked this question? Of course not. I'm not going to pull for those two individuals. Maybe when I have secured Big Daddy, I will pull for Banyue if he wasn't free. But if he was free, hey, it's a W. Okay, so question number 13 comes from Redacted. A very loyal follower. He asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate Nekomata? Honestly, I think Nekomata as a character is great. She even made me emotional during her story quest, which was back in like 1.1 or 1. I don't know. But yeah, I would hate her kit though. She needs to get buffed. Redacted then says, nah, JK. What's some other things you want to see added to Zenless? More male characters, for the love of God, because the gender ratio in this game, it's starting to feel like I'm playing My Little Pony, but with like ZenlessZoneZero mods. Seriously, the gender ratio is beyond cooked. It's burnt in the oven, brother. Zenless dev team, you can start with Big Daddy. I've been waiting here. Other than more male characters, maybe map expansions, more comics and cutscenes, because they have been lacking on those, I'm not gonna lie. I'd also like to see the next new AI that's similar to Fairy. I know there's like 4, I think, if I remember correctly. I also want to see more of the main story lore with new mechanics, like new ways to explore the story, and not just stallfest stories, please. Question number 14 comes from, I literally don't know how to say this, so I'm just gonna say Edward. Hopefully I got your name right, which I feel like I butchered. They asked, if there is an expansion of the Outer Ring area like Blazewood, what kind of places would you like to have? Good question. I'd personally want to see more of the architecture and people. Pretty much more spaces to visit and roam around to understand the Outer Ring environment language. Since ZenlessZoneZero are expanding more on explorations, I'd also like a really large dune area where we can roam around with motorcycles. I mean, riding motorcycles isn't anything alien to us. We have experienced that with the Tour de Inferno race with Caesar. I'd love to see more of that. Question number 15. It comes from BK Monero or BK Monero. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry for butchering your name. They ask, when and why did you decide to play ZenlessZoneZero? Did any character attract you to the game, or was it the gameplay? Also, any favorite side events? Man. I decided I wanted to play ZenlessZoneZero when the first trailer ever came out. I think that was about 3 years ago. It was literally love at first sight. Everything about it made me super excited to play the video game. The character designs seemed so unique and have so much life, and the quality of the animation only adds to it even more. The graphics are also phenomenal for a freaking free-to-play game. Seeing characters like Lycon, Ben, and Billy in the trailer, I was over the moon because I knew this game would finally have characters that aren't human. And I am all about that. The music was so good too. It had me repeating all of their trailers so many freaking times. For some reason, the game also gave me a nostalgic vibe and reminded me of a childhood game. That game is called Get Amped 2. I'm not sure if y'all remember this game, but if you do, you're a real one. And of course, the combat looked beautiful. And so I just knew I needed to play this game. If I were to decide which gacha game I would main out of all the ones I play, it will have to be ZenlessZoneZero. As for a favorite side event, there has been so many, to be honest with you. There's a lot. But one I thought that was pretty cool, it was the event where you were in-game fighting, but you had to take screenshots in the middle of fighting. I'm not a fan of screenshots or like cameras in like events. But this one was really good, especially when ZenlessZoneZero has phenomenal animation. So you got to grab really rad pictures. Question number 16. It comes from AD Isbar or AD Isbar. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I hope I got your name right. He asks, his question is not about ZenlessZoneZero. He wants to know what my favorite video games, anime, comics, manga are. My answer would give everyone a clear idea about my tastes in this kind of stuff. Okay, it feels like I'm being asked what type of woman am I into by Toto. Well, okay, for anime, there's a good bunch that I have watched. I like Danganronpa, Haikyuu, Jujutsu Kaisen, Blue Lock, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Akame ga Kill, Fire Force, Demon Slayer, and the list goes on. As for series, I don't watch many of those, but I did watch Arcane, and I hold it very dear to my heart. It's simply amazing. For video games, okay, well, I'm one of the people who played League of Legends because I watched Arcane. Not a lot of people like that, apparently. I've always wanted to play League of Legends, okay? Even before I watched Arcane. But it's just the fact that I don't have a lot of friends to play with. So yeah, it's kind of an awkward situation. I do get into ARAM now and then, and TFT sometimes. Wild Rift would be so much fun with friends. Other online games I play would be Valorant now and then. I'm kind of new to CSGO as well. Used to play a lot of Overwatch. And some other games, I guess. I'd play story games like Marvel's Spider-Man, The Last of Us, Uncharted, Ratchet and Clank, Persona 5, Prototype was a childhood game. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions or Spider-Man Edge of Time. Yeah. Okay. I am a huge Spider-Man nerd. He is my favorite superhero. Question 17 comes from 0xoff. Well, this isn't really a question. They just said Big Daddy. Oh, well, I personally agree. Question number 18 comes from Furogi Kyusui. I hope I said that right. They ask, how much hope do you still have for playable Big Daddy? I have a lot of hope. Otherwise, this channel wouldn't have existed. Our final question, which is number 19, it comes from Rainfall on Twitter, and similarly, Unreal Lemon on YouTube also asked the same question. What will you do after Big Daddy becomes playable? That's a very solid question, I'm not gonna lie. I guess I'll continue to play the game. I'd love to solo everything with my S-rank C6 Big Daddy. Every time a new boss comes out, you'll probably see a YouTube video on your recommended saying, soloing this boss with C6 Big Daddy. Yeah, I think that would be a really cool idea, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'll continue to enjoy the game and just pull for my favorite characters onwards. Well, that was all of your questions asked, proxies. If your question wasn't here, it's because I either already answered it with a similar question that was asked before you, or you asked your question later than requested. I hope my answers were satisfactory and that you enjoyed this video overall. I'm not sure if I'll be doing another Q&A, to be honest. Maybe after another 100 days I will. I don't know, who knows? I don't. You don't. No, but yeah, leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe to the channel, and let's cause a noise that the ZenlessZoneZero devs or Hoyoverse themselves will hear loud and clear. Let it be known that we want Big Daddy playable. Until the next video, everyone. Peace, love, and happiness to all of us.